Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah Kabaj and you are now tuned in to my integrative case analysis on Warby Parker.
I remember vividly, we were in the computer lab and Jeff and I were talking. Andy and Dave came up and said, hey, like, why are glasses so expensive? Or you worked at a nonprofit that distributed eyeglasses in the developing world. And I sort of paused and said, there's really no reason.
Neil Blumenthal, Dave Gilboa, Jeff Rader, and Andy Hunt were classmates at the Wharton School of Business in 2008 when they asked their question.
To give you a little background on Warby Parker, they are an innovative e-commerce company that manufactures and sells prescription glasses. They are best known for offering designer eyewear at progressive prices while leading the way for socially conscious businesses. Warby Parker was founded in 2010 by 4 students going to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania: Neil, Andy, Dave, and Jeff. The concept of social categorization leads to social identification, which ultimately leads to social comparison. Companies that utilize this social identity theory are able to influence a sustainable workforce that resonate with the company's mission and strives to meet the company goals. Warby Parker believes everybody should be able to see, and they strive to make that happen. The company is known to have found a solution to the overpriced eyewear problem. They gained their social identity as a company that provides affordable premium products, hassle-free customer service, and charity ingrained in their culture. From the very beginning, employees of Warby Parker have something to be proud for and something to talk about. They work for a socially conscious company that gives back to their community. The company's mission allows its workforce to socially categorize and identify their company as a caring and environmental one. This allows Warby Parker to have a sustainable workforce that aid them in meeting their goals. Theory 1 is Corporate Social Responsibility, or CEO Narcissism, by Oleg Petrenko. The study of this theory points towards the cause of a CEO deciding to engage with social responsibility as a cause of their own personality and locus of control. In many areas of Warby Parker, they chose to have a better onboarding process and have a better customer user base due to their own personal experience with that aspect. To some extent, this narcissism of identifying a problem with other companies and deciding to do it better and also benefit the environment and community in the process proved to be positive. Theory 2 is Private Traits and Attributes Predictable by Digital Records, Kosinski. This study outlines that a wide variety of people attributes can be inferred from their digital records. Applying this to Warby Parker, we can see the type of exposure they gained from engaging with their customers on social media. The way they keep pushing innovation, even through their social media strategy, can infer their identity as a group. They allow their customers to engage with them through hashtag, posts, and stories by not taking themselves too seriously. They give a human face to their company, so to speak, by giving their brand an online personality. Theory 3 is Social Identity, Self-Categorization, and Communication of Group Norms by Hogg. This study describes how individuals cognitively represent group norms as category-defining group prototypes that capture meaningful context-dependent similarities within and difference between groups. We can see this with Warby Parker as they create their own group norms with their employees. The program in which senior leadership have to participate in, and the type of employee training programs. These are all things that allow their employees to interact, engage, and communicate with the company as a social norm. When it comes to employee motivation and satisfaction, Warby Parker was very smart when it began to expand. The company founders understood that when companies have to expand and grow, managing a sustainable workforce and making sure they are satisfied and motivated is usually something companies neglect. From the beginning, they set out to treat their employees the best treatment. Warby Parker also has a program called Customer Connection, where every employee from every department has to participate at a retail location, including their senior leadership. This is an amazing program for the company because when customers and employees see those senior leaderships participating, it creates an ethos culture that trickles down to everyone in the company. Theory 1 is Why Does Affect Matter in Organization by Bersade. This study outlines the complexity of negative influence on an organization's life. Researchers used the circumplex model of effect to demonstrate the level of effectivity in correlation to low-high effectivity and low-high pleasantness. I like that this study also mentions the importance of emotional intelligence as the ability to monitor and identify others' feelings. As mentioned before, Warby Parker takes their influence on employees very seriously. Their training program, welcome packages, and first 2 weeks on the job are all designed with the emotions of the new employees in mind. Theory 2, Relational Job Design and Motivation to Make a Pro-Social Difference by Grant. This theory shows the effect of work context on employee motivation to care about making a difference in other people's lives. This falls right under Warby Parker's mission. Their mission to impact their community, employees, and shareholders give everyone the motivation to do their part. As mentioned earlier, the fact that Warby Parker is known for their charity and government aid programs motivates employees to engage with customers, be proud, and meet company goals. Theory number 3, Happiness, Health, or Relationships, Employee Well-Being Trade-Offs by Grant. This study describes that although managerial practices are structured with the goal of improving performance by increasing employee well-being, these practices frequently create trade-offs between different dimensions of employee well-being. Warby Parker has one of the highest scores on employee-rated satisfaction of the company and management. This is due to Warby Parker's commitment to maintain employee satisfaction and motivation. Part of what makes Warby Parker the company it is today is their leadership. Warby Parker has 2 co-CEOs, Dave and Neil. Their leadership is used as an example of balance and consistency. The 2 founders balance each other out. Neil likes to make decisions really quickly, and Dave is the cautious one. They divide and conquer, and sometimes they substitute for each other. They are in constant communication, and they are equal but not too separate. Theory 1. Who Takes the Floor and Why? Gender, Power, and Volubility in Organizations by Bresco. In this study, researchers aim to illustrate the correlation between power, volubility, and gender. In Warby Parker, the founders are both males. Interestingly, they speak about their equal power as partners, describing it as balancing each other out. They also speak about how they divide and conquer. Each CEO has an area where they are expected to be highly valuable than the other. Theory number 2. Why did I do this? Understanding Leadership Behavior through a Dynamic 5-Factor Model of Leadership by Siller. This study examines leadership behavior through a dynamic 5-factor model of leadership which identifies the leader's individual competence, the group, the organization, the context, and the immediate situation as all influencing factors on leadership behavior. I find that this model fits Warby Parker's style of leadership and influence perfectly. Theory 3. Leadership for Sustainability, an Evolution of Leadership Ability by Metcalf. This study explains the confusion over multiple leadership styles related to the successful implementation of social corporate responsibility. This study also elaborates on the significance of implementing a social corporate responsibility in correlation to the CEO's extraordinary abilities. I can apply this to Warby Parker founders as some of the few leaders that were able to successfully implement a strong social corporate responsibility as a main core of their brand. In conclusion, Warby Parker is an innovative e-commerce company that stands out from competitors due to their ethological social mission. Their brand revolves around their core values of being just, fair, and helpful. They gain a social identity through the treatment of their employees, customers, stakeholders, and community. They engage with their stakeholders and leave with a strong positive impression. This is possible due to their internal systems of making employee motivation and satisfaction high and consistent. This is also due to their balanced leadership of 2 co-CEOs that have been running the company for over a decade now.